Like in the middle of the night when it's cold, especially my folks from up north. Like you know the house cold, but you comfortable on the covers, and you got to use the bathroom in the middle of the night, and you're like, ooh, how long can I hold? Okay, I got to get up now, right? What's up? How you doing? Welcome back to A Moment of Clarity with yours truly, Aaron Thomason. I'm super excited that you're with me, but I want to know, did you give this to 3 people last time? Did you bring somebody with you? Did you put the big fella to work? All right. Now, you know we're here, but we're helping my overthinkers and perfectionists take the next step with clarity and confidence in the direction of their goals, ending that cycle of self-doubt and frustration. All right. So I want us to start with pondering this thought here. And I know it's getting colder across the country, and some of you all that might run cold, you got a favorite blanket, right? You got a favorite comforter when you're cozying up on the couch and, or in your bedroom, and you know that this one right here feels real good. Or maybe it's the flannel pajamas, ladies. Maybe it's the house shoes that you got, the slippers, right? There's something that's warm that makes you feel real good. And when you're feeling real good in that warmth, you actually don't want to change anything. You done got into the covers just nice, and you like, hey, listen, I want to move from here. Like in the middle of the night when it's cold, especially my folks from up north, like you know the house cold, but you comfortable on the covers, and you got to use the bathroom in the middle of the night, and you're like, ooh, how long can I hold? Okay, I got to get up now, right? We've all done that. We have all done that. There is a level that we get into with comfortability and that warmth of that blanket or that clothing. When it's cold, you get nice and toasty the right way. Or you turn that heat up in your car the right way and it feels perfect, and you actually don't want to get out to go shopping or go into work or whatever it is. Yes, that warmth. That warmth represents that comfort. And I want to talk about that comfort piece, right? And yes, there are spaces in your life that you want to get to be comfortable, right? We don't always want to live paycheck to paycheck or be in abusive relationships. Like we want to get to have some stability, right? That's okay. But what I'm talking about is the fruit of being comfortable, how it keeps you from moving forward, how it puts you in a position where you're stuck in this routine because it's familiar. It's comfortable. I mean, I just look for another word. It's comfortable, right? You don't want to do anything different. So you're actually second guessing and trying to analyze the motivation. Does it even make sense to do something different because it's so warm? Something, we can order something out. We can get it delivered. I don't have to go in the grocery store and go in there because, the grocery store cold. It's cold outside. My car is nice and toasty. All right, so here's 3 things that I think happen when we get comfortable. 1, we settle into apathy. I'm like, apathy? Yeah, apathy. We settle into apathy. First thing, it's I would say an exaggerated space or a word to describe comfort, right? Because in apathy, you're basically removed all the emotion, all the motivation, all the passion to actually do anything different. Let's go back to you in the bed. It's in the wintertime. You're underneath the covers. It's good and toasty. And the house is cold. And you like, I got no motivation to do nothing. Because right here is the best place to be. Underneath the covers. My feet warm. Everything's right. I know. Don't even want to move. Like you sit in the car at a parking lot someplace because you don't want to get out, and you having conversation, talking to people you probably never even talked to. Why? Because the car is warm. Listen, the warmth of that car, the warmth of your blanket or your bed removes all emotion, all motivation to do something different. We do that when we get comfortable. Number 2, what happens when we get caught up in comfort, we start to become delusional. What do you mean by delusional? Now we have a fake sense of the reality. We don't actually see it through the lens that it is. Guess what? You can be sitting in that same car, just as cozy as you want to. But guess what? As warm as it is, it's still cold outside. Just look at the temperature on your car. You still know it's cold outside. So you can't live in your car. But there's a comfortability that's like, hey, there's no place better than being right here, right now in this moment. So we go for apathy. That's one. Two, we become delusional where it warps our reality of currently where we are, because as long as the reality is warped, it makes the staying in the car more comfortable. It makes staying in the bed more comfortable. It makes removing all of the emotion and motivation to move forward more comfortable and easier to take in. It makes it more palatable. Let me say it that way. Number three. The third fruit of comfort is shock. What do you mean? Shock is going to happen. There's going to be something that's going to shake you up out of what you currently see to actually remind you that the reality in that car or underneath those blankets isn't what it really is. And that when you get shocked, you're now having to react to something as opposed to making an educated response to the situation. And many of us hate that shock piece. We hate that we feel like we're blindsided. You ever walk into something and walk out of those covers and you get that cold air hits you? It's like, oh my goodness. Because you didn't realize how warm it was underneath, but yet how cold it was on the outside. And that's what happens. We get caught up in these spaces where we have apathy, delusion, and then get shocked. And then we're going, well, wait a minute. I thought I was better than that. I mean, I'm pretty good. So then we start taking it personal because we allow for comfort to take over. And then we start comparing to other people and saying, why am I not better than them? Where you took the time to be comfortable. You tried to do everything you could to remove all of the emotion and motivation from it. And when you got shocked into reality, it's like, oh, I don't like this picture. I don't like this at all. And that's all I want us to be able to do today is, if you're comfortable, be careful. Because you're getting ready to go through, at some point, you're going to get shocked out of your comfort to allow for you have to make a different decision. Because the delusion warps your perspective. The apathy removes your motivation. But the shock is going to be your reality for you to do something different. So here's what I want you to be able to do. Click the book now button. Get on my calendar. But minimally, if you don't get on my calendar, minimally what I want you to do, I want you to actually create a list. I want you to, actually it's not even a list this time. Here's what I want you to do. What I want you to do is actually write down who you think you are. And then I want you to go ask somebody that you trust implicitly. And I want you to ask them, who do they believe that you are? And I want you to compare those two. Because what I don't want you to do is to wake up years later because you've been comfortable and you've been sitting in delusion and you don't have all the motivation going and you frustrated saying, well, I thought I was this person. Nope. I want you to go talk to somebody that you trust. But you need to do the work first. You write down who you think you are, who you believe you are, where you think you're going, all these things that are possible. And then I want you to ask somebody that you trust and ask them, who do they think you are? Who do they believe that you are? And see if the two pictures match up. All right? Listen, I appreciate you stopping by. This is always fun when we get a chance to get together and start thinking through some things. But here's what I want you to do. Give this to 3 people. Don't you be selfish. All right? Give it 3 people. Put the big fella to work. You know somebody that actually needs to get out of their comfort. You see them in their apathy, through their delusion, and you're trying to hope that, Lord, please don't let them get shocked. Because when they get that rude awakening, when they get that shock, you're going to be like, oh, I'm just going to pray for you, rub you on your back, and keep it moving. That's the person I want you to send this to. And I want you to remember this. And tell them too, when they come on back, when they come with us, just remember this. Just because you started out on this journey to get better, it doesn't mean that you weren't already good. So until next time, I'll see you then.